So today we're doing our Moneyball rebuild. One of those videos that you guys seem to really enjoy. Obviously, we've been doing it with the Oakland Athletics, the team that really built the Moneyball motive, or not motive, but the idea of Moneyball. They really brought it to light. And if you guys don't know what Moneyball is, go ahead and look it up. It's easier for you to just read the whole story about it, watch the movie, whatever it is, rather than me giving you a Spark Notes version and you guys just really don't know what I'm talking about. So today's baseball. Oakland Athletics currently have an $86 million payroll. You know what team has less and has had better success recently? The Tampa Bay Rays. And that's the team we're going to be using for this rebuild. The Tampa Bay Rays are currently sitting at a $69 million payroll for 2021. The only teams that are lower than them, the Indians, the Pirates, the Orioles, the Marlins, and that's it. Those four teams. Marlins, Orioles, Pirates, and Indians. That's it. The Rays are that low, and the fact that they were in a World Series last year, pretty impressive. So let's see if we can take the idea of a Moneyball rebuild, approach it with this Rays team, and see how they do. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy the content. And of course, comment section. Let me know, do you think the Rays can continue this kind of metrics-built team and keep the payroll super low and still succeed? Or do we think we're going to continue to see the domination of, like, you know, the high spenders as World Series winners? I feel like the Rays are doing pretty good, but can they keep it up? Let me know down below. So I'm using the same roster that I used in yesterday's video. So if you did miss it, just go check out yesterday's Mariners rebuild, and it was within the first couple minutes. So definitely go check it out, see which roster I'm using. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to stick to a 3-year rebuild this year, or for this video, we'll see. I might end up going 5. I'm not 100% sure yet, but everything else is going to stay the same. Budgets are going to be on, and let's hop into it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to match the same budget that they are currently at, $69 million. And it actually says that they're currently at 72. So what I'll do is I can't go above 72. We'll leave it at that because that's currently what we're at now. Okay, let's just kind of meet in the middle, 70. We'll call it 70. We can't go above 70 for the budget. And that is what we're going to be. As you can see, 72 is right here on screen. So we won't go above 70. I feel like that's fair because the Rays are currently at 69.7. 70 is a good mark, right? It's a good round number. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably leave it for this season. Maybe make a couple trades here and there just to kind of get rid of a couple contracts and kind of plan for the future. And then we'll see what we can do. But I mean, looking at the team, I do like this team. I do like it. Tyler Glasnow is such a good pitcher. He's really showing that he can be dominant. Ryan Yarbrough, you got Rich Hill, Chris Archer, who I believe had another. Did he have another injury? Chris Archer. I thought he got hurt again. Did he get hurt again? Did he get hurt again? Yeah, forearm tightness, which you hate to hear it. You hate to hear it. Yoni Chirinos, Trevor Richards, Brendan McKay, Michael Walker. I mean, they've got depth. They've always had pitching depth, and they know how to develop pitchers. And I think the big thing with the Rays is they have so many different pitchers who have different arm slots, different velocities, herky-jerky motions. It's really difficult to just pinpoint a pitcher, right? And they openers, starters, this, that. They approach the pitching game so differently than a lot of other clubs. It's really difficult to come up against Rays pitching, and I feel like that's what really helps them out. So I like the pitching staff. I think it's a good place. I think we can continue to bring in those kind of young developing arms, but also those veteran arms that are going to be cheaper too, kind of get a good mix and really work with this team. And then obviously we do want to keep the contracts low since we can't go above 70 million. So I want to try to get, you know, maybe Mejia involved a little bit more. I think Davey Grullon just signed with the Mets, actually. I'm like 99% sure he just got picked up by the Mets. Yeah, he just got picked up by the Mets, so we're going to release him. He's not on the team anymore. And the rest of the team, I think, pretty self-explanatory. Ji-Man Choi, Yandy Diaz. You got Brandon Lau at second. Third base, Joey Wendell, Michael Brosseau, Yoshi Tsutsugo, who's been kind of garbage. Willie Adames, you got Wander Franco, Greg Jones, Xavier Edwards. Left field of Austin Meadows, along with, you know, Arozarena, Margot, Brett Phillips. I feel like we've got a good squad here. I definitely do. I think we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple trades, shed some of this contract that I don't like, and see what we can do with this team. This is a no-brainer for me. Dumping almost $9 million or just over $8 million worth of salary for Elliot Ramos of the Giants. And then lately, I haven't been looking at the free agent pool where I know there are some random generated players to kind of go into the teams. I see this guy here, William Prather. I also looked at Barack G, who might actually be pretty decent now that I'm looking at him, like his stats again. But William Prather, 19 years old, almost 70 Ks per 9 and walks per 9, 80 stamina. Might as well take him. I'm going to sign him up, throw him in the minors. We're good to go. All right, so that's the squad. I'm going to show you the depth chart for once, just so you guys can get a better idea of what the team's currently looking like. So we've got our starting 5. We got Honeywell, who's in the minors as well. G-Man Choi's over here with Yandy Diaz. They're going to be splitting time at first base. Brandon Lau, Michael Brosseau is our backup. At shortstop, we got Willy Adames, Michael Brosseau, and then Joey Wendell, Michael Brosseau. And then I just signed Greg Garcia on a 1-year deal. It was $2.5 million. And you can see our outfield, Austin Meadows, Kiermaier, and Arosa Reyna with Margot and Brett Phillips as our backups. I mean, the pitching staff is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll show it to you in a sec because it's probably easier to show on the pitching rotation. And then in a couple of years, you guys can kind of see who we have in the farm system and who could actually like play a part. I definitely could see Wander Franco playing a part in the team. I might even consider moving him to like third or Brandon Lau to third and then keep Willy Adames at short depending on how much money he wants or if we can get him on a cheap deal earlier before his contract expires. But yeah, I mean, the team's, I mean, I have a good feeling about this team. I feel like we got a lot of young players who could help us out as well. And this is currently what our pitching staff looks like. I'm going to throw Poche here. Not a lot of faith in Poche just because his walks per 9 are pretty low and so is his control. But we'll have to wait and see. And then we'll hop into it maybe at the deadline, see what kind of players we could trade for if we need to make any trades. And yeah, there's that. So let me take a quick look at our budget really fast. 67 million, so we're pretty safe. Kevin Kiermaier is a player that I might move. I just feel like saving that 10 mil next season is going to be a lot of help, especially when I'm going to be looking to try to keep a lot of the current players that we have. Maybe someone like a Tyler Glasnow, Willy Adames, things like that. So we'll have to wait and see what we can do, but I'll probably see you guys at the deadline. So I completely forgot about the draft for some reason, and or telling you guys I'd stop at the draft. Travis Warner is our first pitcher that we drafted. 6'4", tall guy on the mound. 67 overall, hits per 9 pretty low, probably the lowest I've ever seen, but looks pretty good. Richard Irabu, pretty solid as well, looks pretty good as a closer, relief pitcher. Melvin Williams, good contact, good speed, but the arm and the fielding and everything doesn't look too great. I'm thinking maybe more of like a third baseman, especially being 6'3". I mean, that's not necessarily too tall, but with the fielding and everything, I think maybe more as a third baseman. Herb Heron, decent pitcher, and then these guys down here, they're okay, but nothing too special. But those top 4, I'm pretty excited for. So for Moneyball, basically it was on base percentage was kind of not necessarily the key aspect of the whole theory, but it was more valued than people who just hit nothing but home runs, because obviously if you get more runners on base, you have a better chance of scoring. So it was all statistics based, metrics based, and that's really what I want to do here. I'm not necessarily going to go out and get, you know, a Stanton or a Judge, players who are just going to go out there and hit home runs. I'm going to look for players who kind of fit that whole good on base percentage, good batting average, things like that. So I want to find players like that, but I also want to find good pitchers as well. Players with low whip, players with low ERA, players that are going to work with that scheme and also cheap. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing about it, because obviously you want that small market team to still be able to compete. So I want to see what players are doing poorly. Not here. I actually want to go up here and just kind of take a look and see. I mean, let's see here. I mean, Yandy Diaz is actually pretty good. On base percentage is all right there. Brandon Lau is one of those players that I'm worried about. I don't know if he really fits the whole thing that I'm looking for. Willy Adames isn't doing too well either. G-Man Choi, not bad. Francisco Mejia is struggling. Kevin Kiermaier struggling. Really, the whole team is like kind of bad. So we might have to just completely change the whole offensive lineup, because it's just not looking too great with what we have. Pitching wise, pretty happy with it. Chris Archer kind of on the high side, but other than that, I feel like, you know, maybe a long reliever. But like I said, pitching wise, yeah, the ERAs are a little high, the whips are low, but they're getting the job done, right? I feel like we're pretty comfortable with what we have. Plus we have a lot of good young arms as you can see, why does it do this? Why does it do this? I hate when this happens, where just relievers get shoved here if we don't change it. So let's go with him here, and then I'll fix this because this got all jumbled up. Like Trevor Richards should be somewhere over here. It's all jumbled up. I'll fix it. But as you can see, the pitching staff not too bad. A couple eyesores here and there, but I definitely want to change this offensive lineup because we're not getting on base as high as, or the on base percentage is not as high as I would like. So let's make some trades. Someone I feel like, I don't know why, maybe it's just his ability to play multiple positions. Nick Solak. I just feel like him in a Rays uni would just make sense. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just kind of the utility role, and just, I don't know, something about it. I saw that he had a high on base percentage, and I thought, you know what? Let's give him a shot. I've been seeing him do really well in franchise lately. I want to see how he does. And also, I know somebody's been putting in the comment section, Jonathan Hernandez has been really glitchy for them. And I thought, you know what? Let's take a look at him, see how he's doing. Not good just yet. So let's wait a season or two, see how he does, see if he has like a little bounce back year. But I am going to pick up Brett Martin, one of those just good lefty relievers to get. And I'm going to get rid of Brandon Lau. He's just one of those guys that it's boom or bust with him in a lot of my franchise. And I just feel like let's move on. Let's save some money. And let's go with Nick Solak to be our new second baseman. I don't know about this trade. And I'm going to go for AJ Puck. AJ Puck's battled injuries and still trying to stay healthy, get back on track. Maybe a team like the Rays can be that team to get him back on track, become that pitcher that everyone thought he was going to be. So I'm going to trade Kevin Kiermaier. I know the Athletics don't necessarily need outfield help, but it dumps a lot of salary. And I feel like with all these starting pitchers that we have, we probably could move one for a little bit better of a hitting outfielder, just because Margot is essentially hitting the same as what Kevin Kiermaier is hitting. I'll show you what we have here. So 244 on base percentage, 187 average, 565 OPS. I mean, they're essentially the same players. So Kiermaier definitely a better fielder, but offensively we're looking at kind of the same thing. And I even know I don't want to say Kevin Kiermaier is on his way out the door in Tampa Bay, but I've seen a lot more recently on Twitter that just seems like some of the fans have just been not necessarily turning on him, but they feel like his time's coming to an end. So maybe that's the time to start moving forward and looking for some new outfield help. We do have a lot of youngsters. Gigliotti, we just picked up Ramos, so we probably could move a Rosarena to center or keep Margot and Brett Phillips in center. We'll have to wait and see. Just depends on if I can find anybody. That player that I feel like kind of fits, Brandon Nimmo. I mean, it's just an on-base machine. That's what it comes down to. I did consider looking at Malik Smith. Whoa. Huh, hold on. Like Brandon Nimmo, I feel like I get him often, right? And I feel like that would kind of take away from it. What if we switched up for someone like Malik Smith? Secretly, I have been paying attention to him in franchise, and something about him, he's kind of glitchy this year. So let's see if he plays the same. I mean, a 364 on base percentage is kind of nuts. So let's test it out. I'm getting rid of Fleming, Kittredge, and Fleming, C and D potential, and then Cal Stevenson has B potential, 57 overall. Let's give Malik Smith a shot. I know he hasn't really killed it at all in the majors, but maybe he does this time. So after those moves, I'm going to leave the pitching staff the same. I feel like we're doing pretty well there. The only change is Brett Martin comes in for Colin McHugh. And then offensively, obviously a couple changes, but Malik Smith and Nick Solak are kind of in the mix as well. So let's see how those two additions do. We are going to see a couple players head towards free agency towards the end of the season. We currently have the top wild card spot, and I feel like that's okay for season one. We definitely just let some of these guys develop a little bit more and see where we can take this team. So season one, kind of an experimental season, but I have a good plan in mind. So like I said, a wild card spot, kind of what I was figuring. We kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start at the beginning of the year, 89 and 73, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Like I said, I want to see how this season played out, see who was those players that we could turn to. And as you can see, we were 11 games behind the Yankees, and the Yankees are going to be a tough team to beat. So we're gonna have to really find those good players to build this team around. And all right, let's see. I thought about offering Tyler Glasnow a contract, but he's looking for $13 million already, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot of money. But when we're trying to keep, you know, our budget under 70 mil, that's quite a big chunk already. So we're gonna have to figure something out with who we're gonna keep, who we're gonna get rid of, and how we're gonna be able to afford these different contracts. So I don't know. I might have to scout the whole on base percentage This section right here, this might have to be my best friend for this, because like Brandon Nimmo almost had a 400 on base percentage, and he's normally pretty cheap. And I'm gonna have to see, maybe like Tommy La Stella might end up being in a Rays uni next year. So let's take a look at awards, see who won everything. And you can see here, you got Seager, Bellinger, Dom Smith, Trevor Bauer. Cy Youngs went to, you know, interesting characters. I mean, not really, but what was it? I don't even remember who won it now. Now I got to go back and look. Trevor Bauer and Corey Kluber. But Ian Anderson's in the mix. Okay. Oh, you know, Corey Kluber won it. I don't think we've ever really seen that before. We might have, but I don't really remember seeing that before. And then now looking at it, let's take a look at our team. Since obviously it looks like... actually, I don't think anybody was sent down pitching-wise. I think everybody was kept the same. They probably sent down someone offensively. So, Tyler Glasnow did struggle, for sure. For sure. And that's why I was a little hesitant on the whole contract. 13 mil for a guy who is only going to give us this. I don't know. I don't know. Ryan Yarborough, though, looks pretty good. You know, Rich Hill, for a 66 overall, did quite well. And then Yoni Chirinos, you know what? Not terrible. Not terrible. I definitely want to look and see if we can get some of these other younger pitchers in the mix, but we'll have to wait and see what we can do with them. Brendan McKay, not terrible. Not terrible at all. The whip's a little high, but, you know, we can work with that. Trevor Richards there. Actually, no. Where is Michael Walker, right? He got sent down. 4.24 ERA. Okay, I get that. I get that. Fair. Oliver Drake had quite the season, but as you can see, his stats are going down pretty quickly. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too sure about bringing him back. Peter Fairbanks was pretty decent. Colin Poche about the same, a little bit higher whip. And then looking at the rest, ooh, ERA is kind of high. I don't necessarily like that, but Nick Anderson was quite good. So pretty happy overall with the pitching staff. It's just this area, I'm not 100% sure on what we're gonna do with it, because Michael Brosseau definitely turned it around the second half of the season. You know, 17 home runs isn't bad, especially more as a platoon guy, especially since he's most likely only going to be facing lefties. That's where he really succeeds. But Joey Wendell, maybe probably should lower him in the lineup. You've got Yandy Diaz, who gets on base like really well. So like that's kind of why I want to keep him into the team. Rosarena, 30 home runs. Kind of hard to take that out of a lineup. Austin Meadows, 13 home runs, but a good on-base percentage. OPS is a little low, good average. You know what? I think we can work with that as long as he continues to go up. G-Man, okay season. You know, Willie Adames, it looked like he had a second half that was really, really good, because at the beginning of the season, it was not looking pretty. Nick Solak, tough second half. And then Mejia, definitely a better second half. And then Malik Smith, I mean, it was still better than what Kiermaier produced. So let's keep going forward with this and see what we can do. We lose 3-0. No offensive help at all. Yikes. The Astros defeat the Braves in the 2021 World Series. And now we got to figure out how we're going to keep this budget under 70 mil. How are we going to do that? Man, this is going to be tough. So exclusive negotiations. Honestly, everybody can go. I'm not really wanting to keep any of them. And then moving forward, the 40-man, Chris Ellis will add. And then maybe a couple other players. I'll have to look through the rest of the roster. Arbitration, I think everybody. I'm looking at this list. There's a lot of players here, but maybe not Kevin Smith. Maybe we just look to save the money. I mean, I doubt he's asking for much. But I think everybody. Maybe Poche for one more season. No. I don't know. I don't know. Poche is on my list of uncertainties. That's really about it. Everybody else, probably I'll bring them back. Oliver Drake on my list. So those two relievers, those are like my two uncertain players to bring back. But outside of that, I'm definitely bringing back everybody else. Wander Franco's probably going to come up and play too. Oh, he had a really good AAA season, but I do want those contact numbers a little bit higher. So maybe he's like a second half call up for next season. But I'm bringing everybody back, and then from there I'm going to have to see how much money I have to play with to afford anybody. So realistically, it's going to be like someone like a Shane Green or I don't know, someone that looks a little glitchy and is going to help us out, because I can't afford any big names. So season 2, we're going to start with a trade. I didn't expect this to be a bunch of Rangers players, but we're going to bring back Nate Lowe. I was looking for a first baseman, and like without going out and getting like Freddie Freeman, Anthony Rizzo, and players like that, I just felt like I couldn't really get a first baseman that I'm looking for. Someone that can get on base. I guess I could go out and like look for a third baseman as well, which didn't even cross my mind. But like, who would I get that like Tommy La Stella? Like that's, I don't know. And I feel like, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, the Rays did trade away Nate Lowe, so I guess it really wouldn't make sense to bring him back. But who is someone that would kind of fit what I'm looking for here and just be an on-base machine? And I'm telling you, like, it's either him or what, Candelario maybe? Do I give Candelario a shot? Is that a maybe Brian Anderson actually? That's a little bit different. Brian Anderson, yeah, maybe JD Davis is okay. Maybe that's a move. Brian Anderson. What's his contract situation? Arbitration. So I mean, it definitely will stay around like the 8 million mark by the time we get to. You know what? Let's go for Brian Anderson. Let me change it up now. Now that I'm looking at it, that gives us a really good third baseman, and then we have our platoon guys with Wendell, Rosau, whatever it is, and let's figure this out now. All right, let me figure out this trade. All right, Ji-Man Choi, Chris Ellis, and Rob Wildman for Brian Anderson. Rob Wildman, see potential. Chris Ellis is one of our higher rated pitchers, but I feel like we can always go out and get a new one. And then Ji-Man Choi, I just feel like he's already gone down in rating. I don't know if he's gonna give me another good season. And if we're gonna get someone who is like a pretty underrated third baseman, I feel like he's got the glove, just one of those things where if the bat develops, he'd be really good. Same salary as well. I feel like this is a no-brainer. I feel like this is a pretty good pickup for us. So after the move, this is what we're currently working with. I'm a little hesitant with these two as our 4 and our 5, but the top 3 I'm fairly confident in. Jalen Beeks, I've noticed, is somewhat of a glitchy long reliever. Now that I'm saying that, he's probably gonna suck. And then this is currently what our bullpen looks like. I brought in James Pazos through the Rule 5 draft, I believe. And then here, let me just sim to the regular season so I can show you the AAA situation as well. And as you can see, we have some starters not in the right place. So Poche we did bring back. I am going to call up a couple more pitchers to fill out the roster. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid, right? This William Prather guy looks pretty decent. And then Poche's down here as well, just in case one of these arms that we have just doesn't work out. And to show you the roster history, Brian Anderson through the trade, Kurt Suzuki through free agency, a $3.5 million deal, Pazos through the Rule 5, and who else was added? I think that's it. Anybody else? Oh, Esteury Ruiz. He was brought in on a $50,000 contract. B potential, 68 overall. Might as well get some more middle infield help. Ildemaro Vargas, didn't realize he had lefty power. Didn't play last year. Could be a good little platoon guy for us. And then Brett Martin through the trade. So looking at the team, you know, offensively, this is what we're looking like. A lot of like, they're either really good versus righties or really good versus lefties. So this is a team that like swaps matchups quite a bit. Like I think Kurt Suzuki's got to face lefties. I feel like that's just what's gonna happen. And then I mean, like even if you look at our bench, like you can see like they're either really good versus lefties or versus righties. I didn't even realize Garrett Whitley, who's in the minors, has this good of contact, which kind of makes me think maybe we just get lucky and this guy develops really well and we throw him into the team. I mean, who knows? Who knows? We could throw a Rosarena in center, Austin Meadows back in right. I don't know. We'll figure something else. Maybe something that also works is this guy becomes a DH. I mean, we've got some options. We've got some young players like Greg Jones, Wander Franco, who could get called up this year. Elliot Ramos potentially could be called up too. I mean, we've got the farm system for days. So it's really just kind of work with what we've got. Hopefully some of these players will get a little bit better. And I mean, currently our budget is 57. So we're well with what, 10 million, 13 million under budget. So we probably could go out and maybe try to get a different pitcher at the deadline if need be. Maybe trade one of our prospects for someone that's going to help us out immediately. I mean, the Rays do some crazy trades, so we'll have to figure out what we can do. But yeah, I'm liking the team we have. So I'm at the deadline, and we're about a game away from the title, or the division title. We're a game out of the lead in the title, or the, oh man, that was terrible. We're a game out in the division, not too far off from the Yankees. And you know what? I want to strengthen up this pitching staff a little bit. I want to get a little bit better of a pitcher. Dakota Hudson. super cheap contract, and is actually doing very, very well last season as well. And I thought, you know what, let's bring him in. They're willing to take Colin Poche straight up, and he's actually not having the best of seasons in AAA, so you got yourself a deal. I'm perfectly happy with that. I do also want to strengthen up some of the hitting areas of the squad. Joey Wendell, I think, is more of a platoon guy for us, and I feel like let's try to find someone who can help us out, maybe like a DH, just kind of someone like a Yandy Diaz, just someone that gets on base, helps us out a little bit. So I'm going to see what I can find around the league, and then maybe definitely try to pick him up. All right, someone that kind of fits this mold, Brandon Belt, just one of those guys that gets on base really well. I'm going to trade Ildemaro Vargas, Esteban Quiroz, and Ramon Osuna, and two second basemen. Ildemaro Vargas is just 62 at bats. It's not going well. I thought he would have done a little bit better, but it ain't working out. So let's get Brandon Belt. Helps us out with that kind of like DH player that I'm looking for. So yeah, Brandon Belt's gonna help us out here. Maybe not leadoff spot. Maybe I'll leave him there. I mean, I'm looking at who else I could put. Maybe Willy Adames moves up a little bit in the lineup, and then we'll put Yandy Diaz back here. But we're gonna see how that works. Brandon Belt, I feel like is a safe bet. And then pitching rotation, Brendan McKay is having a little bit of a rough season. Outside of that, pretty much everybody's doing fairly well, so I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. And like I said, I said we were a game out, but we're actually 2 games out. So let's get through this rest of the season. Our draft wasn't great. I'm not even going to show you it. I think we had like one player above 80 potential. So there we go. See you guys at the end of the season. So we had a tiebreaker for the division at 93-70. And there it is, the 3-1 win against the Yankees. I mean, hey, I'll take it. I'll take the division for sure. So here we go. Yep, like I said, just won it by a game. We're currently the 13th ranked team in baseball, 3rd in contact, 9th in pitching. I definitely want to try to get that pitching a little bit higher, but the contact's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for power. I'm not necessarily looking for speed. I'm just looking for people to get on base, and a team on base percentage at 342. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. You know, when you look around, like around the league, what was it? Are we the highest team with the 350 for the Angels? But what were we, 342? I mean, that's up there. Was that number 2 in baseball? Ooh, third in baseball behind the Padres and the Angels. So I mean, I'll take that. That's pretty good, right? That's what we're looking for. People to get on base. Yoni Chirinos had the most wins. Anderson with the most saves. And this is actually someone that I was considering trading for. It was Luis Arias at second base. We'll see. Tommy La Stella doing it a pretty good season. He's doing a pretty good season. I guess I can't speak English today. I don't know what it is. Christian Yelich with doubles. Xander Bogaerts with doubles. Willie Castro with triples. What about home runs? 40, 3-way tie, and then 48 for Trout. So players that I'm looking at, like just based on base percentage, you know, like Jesse Winker, kind of. Tommy La Stella, once again, is just getting on base at an elite level. But I'm kind of looking for just like sneaky players. Robbie Grossman was somebody that I considered for sure. Luis Arias, like I mentioned. We still got Brandon Belt up there. And there's a couple other guys a little bit lower on the list that I have my eyes on. But I've also got to keep in mind the whole contract situation. And that does make it a little difficult to work around. So awards-wise, we have a Delivery Man of the Year. Randy Rosarena was in the mix for an MVP. Yoni Chirinos in the mix for a Cy Young. Okay. I'm not going to hate on that at all. Reliever of the Year, Nick Anderson. And then there we are. So now looking at the team, I already know that the pitching staff's a little changed. But like Jalen Beek, some reasons in the setup spot. But Luis Patino didn't pitch at all. For some reason, he was called up. So that means they sent down. Let's see here. Who'd they send down? Peter Fairbanks was someone that I sent down because he had a terrible year. And he might be someone that I just look to let walk in free agency. Brendan McKay is struggling. I'm thinking maybe more as like a long reliever. I just really don't know what to do with him. Sometimes he does well, sometimes he doesn't. Oliver Drake had a great season, but he is dropping in overall, so I think it's time to find a new reliever. You know, James Pazos was solid. Jalen Beeks, You know, Brett Martin was good. Diego Castillo was very, very good. And then, of course, Nick Anderson was reliever of the year. And then when you look at our starters, you know, Glasnow does become a free agent this year. I know he's going to want a lot of money. And if I can afford him, I'll bring him back. But if I can't, it's going to be tough. Like, right? Especially losing our ace. We do have Yarborough right behind him, but like it's going to be tough balancing these contracts. And that was obviously going to be the toughest part throughout this whole thing. So We do have some youngsters, but are they really ready? You know, like I don't know. Maybe AJ Puck helps us out in the long relief spot. I don't know. It's pretty tough trying to balance this all out. Who was the unfortunate player that got sent down? Oh, it doesn't look like anybody. They just called up a couple players. Maybe from my trades, I had a spot or two open. But Joey Wendell, I think I'm just going to leave him more as a platoon guy. I think that's just the role he fits, especially versus righties off the bench. Kurt Suzuki as a backup catcher wasn't terrible. You know, Michael Brosseau. I mean, and then Brett Phillips, you know, more of a defensive-minded outfielder. And then when you look at our actual lineup, Willy Adames definitely back on track. You know, a 390 on base percentage. Love to see it. 364 from Yandy. I mean, the guy just gets on base. I don't know if we're going to keep him around. If we can keep that arbitration offer low, sure. Rosarena was in the mix for MVP, so outstanding season. You know, you look at Meadows, again, another very good year. Brian Anderson, not as good as he was last year, but you know what? I think we can work with it. He's a super cheap contract, and he's improving. I mean, look at those hitting numbers. Those things went up by quite a bit. Brandon Belt, if we can keep him for another season, I don't see why not. You know, like keep him at first, keep him as a DH. I don't hate the idea. Nick Solak, kind of similar to what he did last year. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. And then you look at Mejia, improved. Ooh, actually, no, he took a step back. Huh. Maybe we need a new catcher. Maybe we need a catcher. Same thing with Malik Smith. Like, he was good, but man, he's not really doing what I was hoping. We do have Wander Franco, who maybe we move Solak to... Ooh, how do we get Wander in this team? Wander at second. Solak to first? Maybe? I'll think about it. I'm going to get these guys in the lineup for sure. And then we also have like Gigliotti, who I don't really see as a starter just yet. Who else? Garrett Whitley, how did he do? He actually did really well. He is definitely going to be like my bench outfield bat for sure. And then Ramos coming in versus lefties potentially is ready to go. I'm not too sure yet. But Greg Jones, hitting wise, he might be a player I look to move. He might be one of those guys that I flip for a pitcher. You know, kind of like the opposite of what they did trading away Blake Snell. Maybe we try to bring in someone like a Tyler Glasnow caliber pitcher, but not as expensive. So we are in the postseason. So let's see how we do against the Twins. And we are getting knocked out. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. I know we have the money to spend, so I'm not worried about it. So let's see what we can do. We have $9 million to work with this offseason. So on top of all the contracts that are most likely going to go up, let's see what we can do here. A tough loss there. Dodgers win the World Series. So here we go. View retired players. Nobody. Okay. Albert Pujols in the Hall of Fame. How much does Brandon Belt want? $5 a year. It's going to be a lot. Ooh, I'm going to hold off because almost $8 million for a season. No. Nah. As good as he was, let's just hold off. See if we can get him a little bit cheaper in the offseason. And then we're going to add those players to the 40-man. And I might look to make a little trade towards the end of free agency. See if we can pick up a starter. Because I want to bring most of these guys back. We have Glasnow for one more year of arbitration. If I can get him on a cheap deal, that would be fantastic. All right, for season 3, I'm going to acquire Jordan Luplow. For some reason, the guy rakes. Like, yeah, he's only played in about 100 games each season. But in 96 games, 23 home runs. I mean, I'm all in on that. We'll put him in the outfield. We're good to go. I'm going to trade William Morris, Peter Fairbanks, who's just really struggled this whole time anyways. And then Michael Brosseau, another player who just really hasn't put it together. I also looked at possibly moving Brett Phillips, but we kind of need the extra outfielder unless we call up Elliot Ramos. You know what? Yeah, let's go. Let's trade Brett Phillips. And yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. And then I do want to get, I think, another batter and then another pitcher. I gotta figure this out. I want to see the budget really quick where we're at. 66. So that opened up just a tiny bit of, just a little bit of cash. We still have $4 million to play with. I don't think we're gonna be able to keep Glasnow, so I think we probably should trade him, or maybe just see how the offseason goes and maybe let some players go. I don't know yet. We gotta figure this out. But I do want to make a couple more trades. I'm going to trade Greg Jones, a player I just don't see us getting into the team with Wander Franco, Vidal Brujan, and just a bunch of others in the mix. I feel like let's just get rid of him along with Connor Hollis, who you can see is 56 overall. Brusdar Graterol. I want that good pitching player, and I feel like Brusdar is a good pickup for us. Next trade, I'm going to trade Brent Honeywell Jr. I know he struggled a little bit in real life. I'm also going to trade Stetson Alley and Jordan Kissar for Caleb Ferguson, originally of the Dodgers. Like I said, I don't want to steal all the Rangers players, but solid little arm to have in the bullpen. So cheap deal too. I feel like that's a good move for us. So I went to go sign an outfielder, and the menus kind of lagged a little bit, and I went to go pull up Jackie Bradley Jr. So what I did was I went to center field. I hit X to kind of see what Jackie Bradley Jr. wanted as a contract, and because the menus lagged a little bit, I hit X again, and he immediately accepted the offer that I was on the table. So I accidentally signed JBJ. Didn't mean to, but this is what it is. 3.7 for the next 5 years. If I would have done anything, I would have seen that he wanted that kind of money, and I wouldn't have picked him up anyways. I was just looking for like a extra platoon outfielder for us, and sadly now we have JBJ on the team. But you know what? It's fine. We'll work with it, and if we need to, we can trade him next season. Budget wise, that puts us at exactly 70 million. Not necessarily something I was looking for, but I mean, we'll have to work with it. So this is currently what we're looking like right now. So pitching wise, I'm comfortable with it. Richards was great with last year. Hudson, Chirinos, Yarbrough, Glasnow. Possibly the last year we have Glasnow, so fingers crossed we can work some magic, maybe get some cheaper deals on the table for us. Brendan McKay, Graterol, Pazos, Ferguson, Martin, Castillo, and then Anderson. Love it. Love what I'm seeing here. This is solid. I like this pitching staff. I feel like this will work for us. I'm looking at it now. We got a lot of lefties. Got a lot of lefties. A lot of lefties. Fingers crossed it works out for us. And then lineup wise, Whitley's back up. Wilson Ramos signed on just a 1-year deal. Brousseau, Esteury Ruiz. I'm not really sold on that. I'm not really sold on that. I can't go out and sign anybody though. So like, maybe we bring up Vidal Brujan instead. I did sign Blaze Jordan. He was available. Yeah, I know, crazy that he's available. So I'm gonna throw him in AAA. And I mean, I guess Vidal Brujan would be like the only other option because I can't trade for anybody. I mean, actually I could trade for somebody, but that would just be a bench bat for us, right? That would be a bench bat for us. So yeah, I didn't bring back Wendell. I just wasn't happy with the production, and Michael Brousseau was given a similar production anyways. And this is kind of what I'm thinking for the team. Yeah, let's rock with it. Esteury Ruiz and Vidal Brujan are so close in rating and hitting stats overall. Let's just rock with what we have here. So we're right at the 70 mil cap. I feel like our pitching is definitely going to carry this offense. Not that the offense has been bad, but I feel like we could probably could have a little bit better of an offense. So you guys can see all the transactions here. Our second baseman that we drafted was probably like the best of the bunch, to be honest. You guys can see we got Mauricio Pina, who's 66 overall, but like, yeah, Blaze Jordan was a free agent, signed him. And then, yeah, I think this guy could potentially feature. I mean, that good contact numbers, but I don't know. I'm like, I want to get some of our prospects involved. I just don't know if they're going to be ready, you know, quick enough. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think that kind of lays everything out on the table. So let's kind of see what our depth chart's looking like really quick, just to kind of get an idea of what to expect maybe next year as well. We're going to need a starter for Glasnow. But outside of that, I kind of like what we're rocking offensively. Pitching-wise, the bullpen, I'm happy with the bullpen. I think we've got a really good bullpen. And they're expecting Prather to be up and ready. An 80? They expect him to be an 80. Wow. Okay, maybe he could be someone that takes over for like McKay, because I'm thinking McKay is not going to be that great. So we're currently ranked 13th. Do I trade him? Do I trade him? I don't know. Let's see. Let's just wait it out. Let's see how this goes. I'm really overthinking this now because I want this to really just be like that super underrated team that does well. So let's see if we can get to the postseason, win the division again, and let's take it from there. So I'm thinking more for next season. I'm going to trade for Mackenzie Gore. Brendan McKay's just not doing it. Mackenzie Gore, I feel like, is a little bit more well-rounded, could help us out. Bullpen, maybe even at the back end of the rotation. And I looked around the league trying to find, you know, similar pitchers, right? Someone that's like not too expensive, but also they're MLB ready. And it's kind of difficult to find. And I've looked, and I don't really see anybody that we could like go out and get that's gonna really help us out, but at the same time not really gonna break the bank either. So is he gonna I'm gonna go. I feel like the Padres moves better. Younger, good potential. Padres and Rays, they're basically like best friends when it comes to trades. Let's do it. Let's make this trade. And then I also let me see, how's he doing? He's got a really good on base percentage, but his average is low. What I was thinking is adding possibly another pitcher, just because like we have a couple good ones, but like yikes, right? Yikes. On top of that, I think Prather's definitely coming up next year. He is lights out. He looks so solid. A lot of our younger pitchers actually do. You can see he's struggling a little bit, but like some of our younger guys, I think he could potentially come up and help us out in the bullpen. I think he could definitely help us out in the bullpen. So he's kind of on my radar, and just kind of thinking of what we could do for this squad. So like I'm gonna leave Mackenzie Gore there. I'm also looking at like Pazos is kind of struggling, but the rest of the bullpen's really good. Our rotation kind of at the end, you know, kind of towards the bottom, it's a little shaky. Offensively, I think we're doing okay. You know, like these guys are a little low for sure. But I think I need to move Luplo down a little bit when it comes here. You know, like maybe something like that versus lefties, and I think I'll leave it there. I like the team. I think we're still doing fairly well. We're first in the division, so we might as well keep going with it. So again, we won the division 97-65. Love seeing that. We're taking on the White Sox, which again, gonna be a tough matchup. Like it's not like it's gonna be an easy stroll in the park. You can see we're one of the better teams in baseball, contact and pitching being some of the best categories. Team ERA at 386, on base percentage at almost 350. So I think it's about the same as what we had last year. 270 team average too, which is that's definitely big right there. And you can see, you know, taking on the White Sox, who were actually 10 games worse than us. So we're gonna have a pretty good matchup here, for sure. And looking around the league, a lot of the division winners were similar to us. So let's take a look at league leader again, Nick Anderson, who I think his contract expires this year. So keeping him and Glasnow is gonna be pretty difficult. I think it's gonna have to be one or the other. I might lean towards Nick Anderson. It sounds crazy, but maybe Nick Anderson is the right guy. Mondesi with 51 stolen bases. Woo. All right, let's take a look at the awards. We got Nick Anderson once again, delivery man of the year, and Glasnow doesn't make it any easier to decide as he wins a Cy Young. So how are we gonna afford these players? I don't know if we are, man. This is gonna be so tough. This is gonna be so tough to figure out who to keep and who to get rid of. So wow, they brought up quite a few pitchers, and they sent down Trevor Richards. Have I been calling him Trevor Rogers this whole time? Isn't that the Marlins pitcher? Oh boy, oh, they also sent down James Pazos, who, all right, fair. But as you can see, Mackenzie Gore, pretty similar to what he was when we got him. Luis Patino struggled. Kind of expect that with him. McClanahan, you got Bruzar, unbelievable. Caleb Ferguson is okay. Expected a little bit more. You know, Brett Martin was good. Diego Castillo was phenomenal. And then, of course, they brought in Jalen Beeks and then Nick Anderson. So I need to clean this up 100%. Like, this is a mess right now. We got to check out the starters. That might help. Glasnow. Man, he's going to be so expensive. Yarborough, fantastic as well. You've got Yoni Chirinos, Dakota Hudson, all fairly strong performances this season. So let me just clean this up a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta call up some players. Who did they send down? Esteury Ruiz, how was he doing? Not great. So they called up Vidal Brujan, but he didn't get any minutes either. I keep saying minutes. Innings. He didn't get any innings either. I don't know why they sent him down. I have a feeling he did quite well. So let's send him down for now. Let's just take a look at the lineup, see how everything went. 255, I mean, it's still a decent season. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. You know, it's not as good as he was last year, obviously. Wilson Ramos, fairly good season as a backup, limited appearances. Michael Brosseau was definitely a lot better. You know, less appearances, but still pretty good. JPJ, I got to find a way to get rid of this contract. Probably going to have to do that in the offseason. And then obviously Vidal Brujan. When you look at our leadoff hitter, oh, he becomes a free agent too. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Yandy Diaz, again, great on base percentage. Rosarena. You've got, I mean, these are great seasons. I'm loving this from the team. You can tell it's all starting to come together. Even Nick Solak's getting on base at an elite level. Wander Franco first season, I'm okay with that. And then Mejia kind of just like plateaued right here. I feel like this is his ceiling right here. So, and then Luplo, not as good as I would have hoped, but you know what? We'll have to wait and see how much he wants. A lot of players do become free agents this year, so this is kind of like a make or break season. And as we take on the White Sox, our first game's a loss. Come on. Okay, we advance. All right, I was gonna say maybe we wait, but all right, Glasnow, I need a revenge game here. There we go. Second game against Ohtani, we lose. Chirinos Quintana, we lose again. I gotta go to Glasnow here. I gotta go Glasnow, and then yeah, we'll go from right there. We're okay for now. Glasnow gets us the win. I can't go Hudson. I gotta go Yarborough. I think that's the move, right? It's 2-2. Ooh, 3-2. All right, we're going against Reed Detmers. Let's go to the squad here. I have a feeling this is a good one. This is the squad for sure. So let's go Hudson. Let's go Hudson. I have faith. Facing Reed Detmers, and I mean, this is a good start. We got to get these runs in. There's at least one. Okay, at least one came in, and I mean, they've added Conforto on top of, you know, an already pretty strong team. So if we can get a couple more runs, this is, ooh, Mejia with the homer. Love seeing that. 4-0. Here we go. Here we go. A double play. Okay, okay. You know what? Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like this situation right here. They do bring in one. Okay, we limit the damage. A single, a fly out, another single, and then a 3-run shot for Austin Meadows. 7-1. Ooh, okay. Dakota Hudson, can you get us to the 5th? If you can get me to the 5th, I have faith in the rest of the team to really carry us through. So, ooh, triple pop up though. All right, he gets us at least to the 5th. That's good. That's good right there. Hit by pitch and a fly out. Do I get greedy with it? I take him out. I take him out. Ooh, I didn't change. You know what? I actually don't hate the way the pitching staff set up, because like a lot of the guys who got sent down didn't do well. So might as well bring in some players who are gonna, you know, do well. 1-run scores, but you know what? With a string of lefties coming up, I'm okay with this. Let's go to Ferguson here. A run scores, great. A single, not great. Strikeout, a fly out, and then Barnhart's a lefty as well, and a strikeout. Okay, so 2 runs do score, but okay, we still have the lead, and we can kind of build on that. All right, we got a couple righties coming up. Let's go. Let's go Gratterall. Strikeout, fly out, single, and a pop up. Perfect. All right, fly out, ground out, line out. We got to go to our best arms, and single, strikeout. Yes, there we go. They've kept in Danny Duffy this whole time, which I mean, I kind of get, but really? All right, Nick Anderson, I need you to close the door here. That's not, no. Okay, final game of the series. Can we win? Can we move on to the World Series? Please don't lose this for us. Yeah, let's go Chirinos. I gotta hope he does well here. We gotta hope he does well. No early runs. No early runs. Okay, so that's a good start. We got through the dangerous part. Ooh, runner thrown out going home. That's tough. No outs. Why are we getting greedy there? You know what I mean? A pop-up, a fly-out. We got the guy on third, though. We got to start bringing in these runners. We can't leave them on base. This is not good. Not good at all. But Ohtani's almost tired. Oh, he is tired. He's not almost tired. He's like dead tired. Luplo. Bases are loaded for Mejia. Not Mejia. Adames. Please. Strikes out with the bases loaded, man. We can't keep leaving these guys on base. We can't keep doing that. A ground out, a strikeout, and then a single, and then a line out. I mean, this is... Ohtani has no energy, and the fact that we're not just taking advantage of that is going to hurt us. I know it is. Another single. Take him out for Berea. Wander Franco, the phenom. He comes in the clutch. Finally gets us that run. And let's see here. A ground out, and a strikeout. You know what? Through 6, Yoni Chirinos is good for me. You know what? I'll take it. If we could have gotten another run, that would have been great. But all right, let's go to the lefty here. With a string of lefties coming up. Let's go Martin. A runner was thrown out. Okay. No, not the 2-run homer. Not the 2-run home run. Dude, you gotta be kidding me, man. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen, man. We weren't gonna score all those runs, and what's gonna happen is gonna come back to bite us, and we're gonna be in trouble. If we don't score here, we lose. It's game over. I know it is. And thank you, Austin Meadows. Thank you, Austin Meadows and Brian Anderson. And then Nick Solak with the triple. Whoo! Close it out, please. Please close it out. There we go. The Rays win it. We're taking on the Mets in the World Series. Whoo! That got a little dicey there. All right, so Glasnow is going to be facing Peterson this game. We lose. Yarbrough the next game versus DeGrom. This is a tough matchup too, but we do win it. Hudson, they got Kershaw? What? We lose that one. We win this one, so it's back to Glasnow. Come on, Glasnow. I need you here. We take the loss, and these are 2 tough games. 2 tough games indeed. We can't lose. We're at Citi Field. Yarbrough, you're on the mound, man. This is important. Facing DeGrom is going to be tough. Definitely going to be tough. They got Buxton. He goes deep, and it doesn't get any better with Dom Smith, Lindor, and Pete Alonso all in the lineup. Come on. A walk, though. That's good. Okay. Bases are loaded. Francisco Mejia. A double play. Oh, man. That's like deja vu versus the Angels, man. Caught stealing. Not too sure why they're stealing there, but okay. We need to score, man. We need to score. Fly out, ground out, single, and a walk. Not good. Thank God we got out of it. All right. All right, a walk. I'll take that. A pop-up, a double play. Come on. All right, let's go to... I mean, they've got switch hitters, lefties, righties, like all kind of mix of different things here. Pop up. All right, cool. Mackenzie Gore got out of that. We don't really have a lot of options here, and we have a pretty good staff. So let's go Whitley. Swings away, fly out, and a strikeout. Man, where's the offense, man? Where's the offense? I need the offense to show up. Where is it? We only have one hit this entire game. We're hitting into double plays like it's our job. It's not good. That's not good. All right, Bruzdar, come on. All right, let's pinch hit. They're probably going to keep him in, right? Let's go Yandy. Come on, Yandy. Strikes out. Adames flies out. And we lose in the World Series. All right, let's run it back. One more season. I can't go out like that. Who's the playoff MVP? Wander Franco, our rookie Wander Franco was our playoff MVP. One more season. We got to run it back. I can't lose like that. I can't do it. Can't do it. All right, we lose a couple players, but that's okay. Miguel Cabrera, Robinson Cano. They weren't like anybody that I was really looking to keep. So 24, man, that's 25 actually is about like is more than a fourth of our budget. I can't afford it. I can't. Ooh, wait. I'm about to give him a 10-year deal just to save some money. Backload it as well. Yes, sir. 18 I can work with. 18 I can definitely work with. And if he's willing to do that, we backload it so we save a little bit more money this year. I am all in. I'm all in. Drop this AAV because he's looking for 18 million over 10 years. I don't care if he's paying if he's here till he's 40. We'll make it work. Come on, get it down. Get it down. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cheesing the system, but if it works, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We need to win. I'll even do that. And then, you know, a little player option to make him a little happier. A little happier. Wilson Ramos can go. If he doesn't sign, then I'll just look to go in a different direction with my pitcher, right? Which he signed. Okay. So our current budget is 23 million, just under 50 to work with. Whew, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. So obviously I want to add Edwards. I want to add Gigliotti or Gigliotti, Blaze Jordan. You know, arbitration. Ooh, he is. This arbitration is gonna be tough. I might let go of Pazos. How did Yandy do? Yandy most likely is moving to the bench, but I'm probably still gonna keep Yandy. And then anybody else? How did Rousseau do? A little bit better, so maybe we keep him depending on how much he wants. 2 mil. I'm probably bringing back everybody, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna get a reliever. I'm probably not gonna use them, but it gives us some money to work with. I looked around the league and other possible relievers that I could get, because I'm not too sure I'm gonna be able to get all the relievers that I want. And oh, actually, there's a 70 there. Can I get him? He doesn't look that great. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. We'll take him. We'll take him. It's fine. It's whatever. It's pretty similar to what we already had. So boom, there we go. We open up a couple more dollars to work with. So you guys see what I'm doing. If I can afford anybody, we'll bring them in. If not, see you guys next season. All right, I was looking around. Tyler Glasnow is the big money maker this year, and like I looked around and I was like, who else? You know, who else could be a player that I would look to get rid of? Arozarena, Austin Meadows, who does become a free agent, and I mean, I guess getting rid of one of our outfielders probably isn't the worst thing. The issue is I'm quite a bit over budget. Like I'm 81 million. I'm 11 over. So like let's just go to spring training, see if it changes. It shouldn't. Let's see here. Yeah, we're at 81, and you know, like if you see it, 11 million Tyler Glasnow, right? So I'd have to package a couple players to make sure that I would get under what I need to be. And like, do I use Jalen Beeks? You know, like he looks okay, but like that's about 2 mil I could save. You know, and I'm looking elsewhere. Garrett Whitley, you know, but that's not a lot of money. And I'm trying to think, like, if I just put all my money in Tyler Glasnow, I feel like it's probably most likely that I'm gonna trade other players. Yarborough, who has been fantastic, but again, I would probably rather keep a 30-year-old rather than a 32-year-old, especially since I just gave a contract to Glasnow. In hindsight, it just doesn't make sense to keep Glasnow. It would have just been better to let him walk, especially since with the Rays mindset, they're probably not going to keep a player on an $11 million deal. So I'm kind of torn here. Do I trade Glasnow or do I trade other players? And if I was to be smart about this, I probably would have just let Glasnow walk, like I said, but I feel like trading Glasnow is probably the best bet, right? That's the most realistic of the scenarios, especially with all those young pitchers that we do have. I feel like that's probably what they would do. They would have let Glasnow go. They would have let other players come in, and we would have been okay. Or come up from the minors, and we would have been fine. So I'm going to trade Glasnow. Or do I trade? Yeah. Well, we also do have a crazy amount of players becoming free agents too. So, you know, we're in a weird spot. It was like a win now or we're kind of screwed situation. I'm not even sold on Francisco Mejia, to be honest. So he might be a player I'm shoving out the door. Like, he's just been meh, you know? Like, so Glasnow, it's either Glasnow or Yarborough. Those are the two that I'm torn between right now. And he's been lights out. The thing is, can I get a catcher combo that isn't too much money, like a catcher pitcher combo that's not going to break the bank and we're going to be able to like build on? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Like, that's just, I'll look, but I don't think I am. All right, I'm going to keep Glasnow. I'm going to trade Yarborough, Mejia, and Jalen Beeks for Keibert Ruiz and Tony Gonsolin. It opens up a little bit over 6 mil, so we still have to shed 5 mil, but I think I can do that. All right, Levi Kelly is going to be joining us, and I think this might get us just barely within budget. I think this might. Ooh, I still need a backup catcher, though, and I think this might take us over. So I'm just going to go with, I guess, Yan Gomes. Will he take a cheap deal? That's gonna take us over though? That's the problem. By 3 mil. I can't get rid of him now. So how are we gonna do this? And I mean, I guess I could be like, I could be a stint, like, you know, I could play the whole card of, well, I'm the whole like 70 mil is the MLB budget and this is every single player's budget. So in theory, I am under the $70 million budget since they are counting every single player's budget here. So I could say that. And I could be that kind of person to say, well, I technically am under budget, but let's stay within the challenge. Let's keep going with it. And then I guess we're going to have to find somebody who fits our mold here. So who is going to be someone that is going to help us out and is going to get on base? I don't really see anybody that plays third base. It might have to be a second baseman. Usually second basemen are easier to trade for anyways. So let's see what we can find that is cheap. Marcus Brito, not even close. He ain't going to do it. I'm going to have to find something. I'm going to get Acuña's brother, Luis Angel. There we go. I guess we're going for the Rangers players. I looked elsewhere. I looked at shortstops, second baseman, third baseman. I can't find anything. Like, especially players that like have good hitting stats. That's like the big. That's like the difficult part. I don't see anybody that has good hitting stats. Like that's the tough part. So as much as I don't want it to be like a, I mean, do we get him? Has he played in the majors? He actually had a really good year last year. All right, let's who we shipping off to them? Melvin Williams, the guy we drafted, Alika Williams. They're not interested in that one, so let's give them Moises Gomez and Alika Williams. All right, we got O'Neal Cruz. There we go. Okay, let me show you the team. All right, I'm picking up this prospect. I got to get rid of more money. I was over. I think I'm now within it. I hate that this is the case, and I had to do that, but now I'll show you the team. You know what? I don't hate the team. I don't hate the team. We're still ranked 8th, and I mean, look at the pitching staff. Glasnow, Gonsolin, Hudson, Kelly, Mackenzie Gore. You know what? I don't hate that. I don't hate that. William Prather's going to come up. You can see his rating here. He's up to a 79. He's either going to be really good or really bad. And then we have a couple players that are on like waivers. Patino and McClanahan. And then if they don't work out, we could always bring, you know, or if like some of these guys don't work out, we can always call those guys up. And then Bruzdar, Ferguson, Martin, Arabu, who we drafted, Castillo, and Anderson. You know what? I got confidence. And then the lineup basically unchanged. I might move Yandy Diaz down a little bit, but Keibert Ruiz, a young, exciting catcher. We've got O'Neal Cruz, who could definitely slot in if we lose Willy Adames in the offseason, or if we ever just need someone to step in. Maybe Yandy Diaz starts to fall off. Wander Franco isn't figuring it out. Whatever it is, we got O'Neal. We got Vidal Brujan, Elliot Ramos. We've got replacements for some of these players. I like this team. I think we've done a good job getting in some players, even though we had to shed some contract towards the end of it. But yeah, there it is. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, we won the division 92-70. We're taking on the Twins in the division series. I need to fix the roster because it's a mess. Let me fix it because the CPU kept calling people up and sending them down. All right, so here we go. Let's get into the standings. As you can see, on base percentage definitely took a hit this year. ERA also went up, so probably not our best performance season. But we won the division. That's all that matters. That's really all that matters. And we were able to keep within the whole parameters of 70 million as a budget, which is absolutely wild because that means our MLB budget was way under that. And you can see our league leading stats there. So, whew, I can't believe we were able to do that. I mean, yeah, we had to make some sketchy moves towards the end of the rebuild, but like realistically, I was well under the $70 million budget since that was the whole organization rather than just the MLB squad. So, whew, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty tough. And we even made a World Series last year, so I feel like we still, you know, did very well. We still had a very successful rebuild here. And let me show you what we finished off with as a team. Glasnow is here. You can see Gonsolin struggled for sure. Same with Mackenzie Gore. Dakota Hudson was solid. Levi Kelly struggled a bit as well. He had a really bad second half. His first half, he had like a 3.7 ERA, so he struggled heavily. William Prather, though, I think we've got a little bit of a gem here. I think he looks pretty good. I might even throw him in the 5 spot, to be honest. Bruzdar obviously is gonna be lights out. Ferguson struggled. Martin struggled. Arabu. Yo, I'm talking. Woo! Look at him. Castillo and Nick Anderson really fell off this year, which is not what you want to see. I might even move him out of that spot because that's gross. Our bench, Garrett Whitley, you can see 36 games, had a great season. You know, Yan Gomes, not so much. O'Neal Cruz, you know, very minimal appearances. Vidal Brujan, pretty solid. Same thing with Elliot Ramos. So I'm pretty happy with our bench. And then when you look at our starting staff, Our starting lineup, Adames in the leadoff role is killing it. Yandy Diaz still getting on base at a really good level. Arozarena definitely fell off like very hard. Meadows still doing fairly well. Great on base percentage, great OPS average. Brian Anderson still doing really well as well. Nick Solak. Wanders is, yeah, I was hoping for a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie. Keibert Ruiz, not the best. And then Jordan Luplow, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. I'm actually pretty happy with the team. And then we've got some players down here that could come up and help us for sure. So, like, you know, we've got a squad. It all comes down to this season here, taking on the Twins. And we could have gotten eliminated right there. I didn't even think about that. But let's hop into it. Play game. Quick manage. If we lose, we lose. That's the end of it. And we're going to go Glaz now. Single to start it off. Not what you want. Bases loaded. Not what you want. Somehow gets out of the jam. If we can score early, that would be great. Take the edge off. Take the anxiety. That's the word. I mean, they got a squad. Verdugo, Polanco, Ramirez. That's J-Ram. Sano. Like, that's a squad. They've even got Yermin Mercedes. Or Yermin, whatever you want to call him. You know, it's Yermin, but it's Yermin. Whatever. It's fine. It's kind of like how people say Luis Robert, you know. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, it ain't worth arguing about. And we're still down a couple runs now. Where's the offense? Where has it gone? I gotta take out Glaz now. He's getting shelled. Let's go Bruzdar. Ooh, I mean, it comes down to like these next couple innings. If we don't score, I have no faith in the team at all. Like, they just disappeared. What? We just don't know how to score runs? Just no runs? No runs at all? That's what we're doing here? No runs at all? 6-0. I think that's it. I think that is it. That's it. That's it. I mean, unless we go absolutely insane here. Man, that's tough. That's tough. The offense just non-existent. Non-existent from the offense. We'll sim to see who wins the World Series. And that is the Moneyball rebuild. The Dodgers win. That's it. We made it to a World Series. 1 game shy. We just couldn't clutch it up there. And unfortunately, that's how it ended. I feel like we still put up a pretty good team. I felt like, yeah, we made some sketchy moves, but we stayed within the budget. And it's really hard to stay within 70 mil. I think if we did inflation for what the Athletics originally have to what it is now, I forgot what it is. I think it's like 80, 90 mil between the two with inflation and everything. I can't remember, but I felt like that was a challenge. That was actually pretty good. You know, we tried to find the players that got on base at a really good level. We tried to find those pitchers that did really well. And we tried out some new players. That was really about it. Trying out new players, trying to stick to that whole high on base percentage and everything like that. I think we did a pretty good job. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy the content. And of course, get in the comment section. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.